Hello and welcome. So today we're going to tackle one of the biggest topics out there, artificial intelligence. You've probably heard a ton about it. For a long time, it was just the stuff of sci-fi movies, right? But now it's a real thing that's quietly changing everything, from the way movies are made to the actual smartphone sitting in your pocket. So let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on.
Sounds like something straight out of a futuristic blockbuster, doesn't it? Well, here's the kicker. That world isn't some far-off dream. It's pretty much the one we're living in right now. AI has officially left the laboratory and woven itself into the fabric of our everyday lives.
So, when you hear AI, I bet your mind jumps to, sentient robots or super intelligent computers, maybe taking over the world. But is that the real story? Let's take a quick look at where you've probably already used AI, maybe even in the last hour.
Remember that perfect movie recommendation you got last night? The one you absolutely loved? Yeah, that wasn't just a lucky guess. That was a sophisticated AI algorithm digging through your watch history to figure out exactly what you'd be in the mood for next.
Or how about your email inbox? Every single time you open it up and it's not flooded with junk, you've got an AI to thank for that. It's on duty 24/7, constantly learning what's spam and what's important, and blocking the garbage before you ever have to see it.
And what about your daily commute? When your navigation app tells you to take that weird side street you've never heard of, that's AI analyzing traffic in real time, predicting where the jams are going to be, and finding you the absolute quickest route. Pretty smart, huh?
Even those fun little photo filters you play with on social media, yep, that's AI too. It uses some seriously complex tech to recognize a human face and overlay graphics with incredible precision. So it's pretty clear at this point, AI isn't fiction anymore. It's everywhere.
Okay, so we've established that it's all around us. But what is artificial intelligence really? And maybe just as important, what is it not? Let's clear that up. To really get it, we have to rewind a bit. Way back in 1956, a computer scientist named John McCarthy first coined the term. He defined it as the mission to build machines that could handle tasks that normally require human smarts. Things like learning from experience, reasoning through problems, and finding solutions. It's not about making a copy of a human brain, but about simulating what a brain can do.
And this really hits on the core difference between us and it. AI's superpower is its unbelievable speed and scale. It can process just massive amounts of data to find patterns a person could never hope to spot. But its kryptonite? Context. Plain old common sense. AI struggles with that because it doesn't have life experiences to draw on. So think of it as a ridiculously powerful tool that helps us, not as a replacement for us.
Now, to make this all a little easier to understand, it helps to think of AI as coming in 3 different flavors. This framework is perfect for sorting out what we have today versus what we only see in the movies.
First up, we've got what's called artificial narrow intelligence, or ANI. This is AI that's built to do one thing and do it really, really well. And here's the absolute key takeaway. Every single AI we use today falls into this category. Siri, facial recognition, self-driving cars, it's all ANI. It's a specialist. It's not self-aware. Okay, the next flavor is artificial general intelligence, or AGI. Now, this is the stuff you see in movies. We're talking about an AI with human-level consciousness and creativity. Think HAL 9000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey, or the droids in Star Wars. For now, AGI lives only on the big screen. It doesn't exist in the real world.
And finally, we have the really mind-bending concept of artificial superintelligence, ASI. This is a theoretical intellect so advanced it would surpass the smartest humans in literally every field, from scientific creativity to social skills. This is a purely theoretical idea that thinkers like Stephen Hawking and Elon Musk have spent a lot of time debating, and it definitely raises some huge questions for humanity's future. So this table breaks it all down nicely. We live in the age of narrow AI, the single-task experts. General AI is still just a good story for a movie, and super AI is way out there on the theoretical frontier. Honestly, understanding this distinction is the key to cutting through all the hype you hear.
So how in the world do these machines actually learn how to do all this stuff? How do they get good at recommending movies or driving a car? All right, let's pop the hood for a second and take a quick look at the engine that powers modern AI.
This whole journey really kicked off in the 1950s when Alan Turing first asked that fundamental question, can machines think? We saw some progress in the 80s with so-called expert systems, but the 90s brought a huge breakthrough. IBM's Deep Blue computer beat the world chess champion. That was a game changer. Then, the 2010s brought the AI boom, with virtual assistants on our phones, leading us right up to today, the era of generative AI, where machines are actually starting to create things. At the heart of it all is a process called machine learning, and it works in a cycle. You start with a problem, you feed an algorithm just a ridiculous amount of data, you let it train, then you test the results. Based on that, you give it feedback, it recalibrates, and it tries again. It's just this constant loop of learning and getting better over time. And this whole process is often powered by something called a neural network, which is, you guessed it, inspired by the human brain. The best way to think about it is like teaching a little kid to recognize a cat. You don't give them a rule book, right? You just show them thousands of pictures of cats. Eventually, by seeing all those examples, their brain just figures it out. That's what a neural network does. It builds its own connections to learn what a cat looks like on its own.
So with these machines that can learn, what are we actually doing with all this power? Well, AI is making a massive impact across just about every industry. And in the process, it's creating all sorts of new jobs.
Some of the most exciting stuff is happening as we speak. In healthcare, AI is helping doctors spot diseases earlier than ever before. Generative AI is creating incredible art, music, and stories. It's even being used to tackle huge problems, like climate change, by predicting natural disasters or making our energy grids way more efficient.
And of course, this explosion in AI has created a huge demand for people with new skills. Careers like machine learning engineer and data scientist are hotter than ever. We're even seeing totally new roles like AI ethics specialist, which are becoming absolutely crucial.
All of this brings us to the really big question. What does our future with AI actually look like? As this tech gets more and more powerful, the whole focus is shifting toward how we can guide that future in a responsible way.
And this is such a vital point. As AI's capabilities grow, so does our responsibility. The global conversation right now is all about how we build AI systems that are fair, that are transparent so we can understand their decisions, and that are accountable. The goal is to make sure this powerful technology ends up benefiting everybody.
Because at the end of the day, that's all AI is. It's a tool, a profoundly powerful one for sure, but still a tool. It's here to enhance our abilities, not replace our judgment or our creativity. So the real question isn't what AI is going to do. The real question is, what are we going to choose to build with it? That's the future we all have a say in. Thanks for joining me today.